McGinn,
Here.
Steins,
Here.
Mormon,
Here.
Pickla,
Here.
Stecker, here, Ray.
Here. Okay, number 2, approval of agenda.
Any changes, Your Honor?
No changes this evening.
Motion to approve.
Second. Call roll.
McGinn,
Yes.
Steins,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
Pickla,
Yes.
Stecker, yes, Ray.
Yes. Okay, number 3, presentation, petitions, and other communications. A, public hearing to consider the sale of a portion of public right of way between 1514 Union Street and 1521 Forest Avenue, Boone, Iowa. Are there any written comments? Any public comments? This public hearing is closed. Number 4, report of standing committees. A, policy administration. B, do. Report. Public safety, Stephen.
We'll report, but we have anything, it'll be on the 26th, 4:30 if we have, otherwise. That's correct, and Dan has an update on the flow meter under this, that he's going to. Oh, okay. This thing he talks about utility.
Right, under the utility.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
You ready for that?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so for the water plant flow meter replacement, the flow meter is at the end of its life, and it's a critical component of the plant because we need it for measuring the amount of water we produce, and that's how we make our reports at the end of it. So unfortunately, it's at the end of its life. We've looked at several different options. I think there were 6 different options that we looked at. We came up with one that we believe is the best, and there's a cost associated with that, $6,500. We do have money available within water revenue to cover that, but it would require a budget amendment. So I'm asking tonight to approve this agreement to have to work with. If there are any questions.
The utility committee approve it. We just want to make sure it's brought here because of the requirement. Gotta have it down. We want to make sure we got it accurate on it. We know what's coming out. So I'll make a motion to approve the.
Second. Call roll.
Steins,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
Pickla,
Yes.
Stecker, yes, Ray.
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
All right, next up, Economic Development Committee, Greg.
In your packets is the job description for the economic development position. ED position approved last evening meeting earlier in August. We'll get it up there on there. There was no changes or anything done at that time, and we voted to move forward with it unanimously. The key thing is, if there are any questions or anything since that time, and Bill can also answer as well on some of the needs that this position moving forward.
And it was recommended, you said, approved by the economic development.
And this is one of our FY21 goals.
When do you think we'll have somebody hired or being ready?
So we're looking to have this out and advertised by September,
In September, yes.
and we're looking to have the position filled by December, but not start till January. So that person will be involved in all our budget conversations and goal setting. So that way they're in the loop on everything going on. We want this person to hit the ground running in January.
Your motion to approve it?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Call roll.
Mormon,
Yes.
Pickla,
Yes.
Stecker, yes, Ray.
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Steins.
Yes. And just one quick thing is, the City of Boone is now up on Instagram. It went up last week, and we started showing some of the videos that we made. Another thing too, if you notice, the rotation on KCCI is starting to pick up. And we have just finished the last of the videos from the Gephardt, so we have now all the videos completed. That's it, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Number 5, Department Reports, Building Official Ed.
I'm taking that one.
Take that.
You bet. Tonight, there is a site plan approval for 2505 Mamie Eisenhower Staples Oil Company. Sits clear back off of Mamie Eisenhower. The only thing that really was an issue in this project is it exceeds the amount of the setback off of the road exceeds the amount of fire hose that we carry on our trucks. So we asked that, we worked with Staples and they agreed to put a fire hydrant at the back of the property. It's two 30,000 gallon fuel tanks that will sit back there. So we thought it's appropriate that we better have some water supply back there. Staples agreed to go along with that in the approval, along with that P&Z unanimously approved, and staff and look for a motion for approval.
This is one of their first sites with Company Hudson Solar. So they've chosen Boone to be the start location for us.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Call the roll.
Pickon,
Yes.
Stecker. Yes. Ray,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Stein,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
Okay, next up, Finance Officer, Rick. City Attorney Jim.
No report.
Director of Public Works, John Rouse.
Do you have him on, Justin?
He's on. John, unmute yourself. Can you hear us, John?
You hear?
His internet is like,
Okay.
oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on speaker for your update, okay? Okay, so you are on speaker, and everybody can hear you.
Well, as you guys know, we have 3 massive storm go through. Right now, we have everything north of 11 streets, except for 2 north-south streets done, picked up for the first time. I have a group that's in East Boone, going from 1st Street to 8th Street, Airport Road, heading to the west. I have a group out of Montana, getting all those sections, West Park Avenue, all that stuff, heading to the east. I have a group with Wayland and Paul Walter's group, and down South Story, you get South Story, turn to like 11th Street, and finish up Story Street tomorrow. This is just stuff that's out on the curb now. I know we hit it pretty quick, so we'll probably come back to it again. But we just, as soon as it happened, we started rocking and rolling. So this is not how it should be. I also have the park groups going on around the area, trucks taking down those hangers and the dangerous stuff that's hanging in the trees. So I have a call for FEMA tomorrow at 3 o'clock, or 2:30 or 3 o'clock with Lance Quaker, the county emergency management guy, and then we're going to discuss FEMA, how to bill people, what we're going to do to reimburse for, and all that stuff. So this is going to be a pretty huge undertaking, but I think we're handling pretty well. We're doing pretty well so far. I take any questions.
Tell your guys are doing a great job.
Appreciate that.
Any questions for John Rouse? I think we're good.
Okay, one other thing is we're gonna have a lot of damage attached to the trees. We're gonna clean up the mess first, then we'll go back and reevaluate all the trees that have busted branches just hanging out or missing out a tree. That kind of thing. We'll reevaluate that when we get everything picked up, the tree field picked up. So hopefully this will be quick, but we're doing the best we can.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Sorry about the Zoom thing. I tried.
I know.
Okay.
Okay. Next up, City Engineer Dan.
Yes, Your Honor. Tonight we have first reading for our proposed new ordinance for our stormwater facility rate increase. This ordinance would increase the monthly residential rate from $1.95 to $3 per month.
That's in the consent agenda, right? Yeah. Okay, any questions? Thank you. Okay, public safety, Chief Adams.
Well, I didn't really want to talk about this, but we have received several calls for service of open burning. And obviously, open burning right now, the storm damage stuff is not a pleasant, it really stinks up the atmosphere, but I also understand why everybody's doing that. So I just wanted to bring it to council's attention and mayor's attention and you know, have that discussion. We haven't been finding them or anything because a lot of people are just trying to get their stuff cleaned up, but at the same time, it has been a little bit all over the board. There's been a group on our chiefs that have, I would say probably 30% are opening burning up. There's definitely 50% that's not, and that's the knots have been that way for, you know, you get over to like Lynn County, you can't burn period. In the Des Moines metro area, you can't burn period, but there's some cities that are about like us. They have just certain times of the year that they burn and they're opening them back up. But I know that we're doing a big effort of trying to get all that stuff to the north side of town. So I just thought I talked to Bill a little bit about it, and we just thought it'd be good for a discussion. I've had several calls. More of my calls are coming from the commercial side of places where they have, the last call I had today was the racetrack. As an example, they had a bunch of stuff they were trying to clean up. They wanted to make sure that they didn't get in trouble, so they called before they burned, and I said, just hold off and we'll see what's. So they're just one example of different commercial businesses and residents, so.
The landfill is accepting yard waste until September. It is.
Yep.
And unfortunately, most of the debris is green.
Yeah. Yep.
Do we know how many people don't have power yet?
Less than 200 now.
Yeah, I have a report. Do you want me to give it to you now?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, that makes a difference about the burning as far as I'm concerned. Because if they have to have their windows open for air and stuff, burning is a bad deal.
At the present time, we are about 90 customers without power. The line has restored to 99% of customers. And they're finishing up, and the delay on this is individual service lines that may need work done by the property owner with a private electrician. Those are the ones they are working on right now. And so those are individual services, so that can take those time. They continue to work on one each day. And I know they were working over the weekend because I talked to a few citizens that think that, you know, we got power over the weekend. So.
Any comments, questions on burning? Anybody have anything you want to add?
I mean, I'm more than happy to keep fielding in the calls and doing what we're doing, because it is a kind of a weird, I mean, burning green lumber right now is definitely
I'm gonna say no. It's green, it's leafy, and then on top of it too, we're offering free cleanup service. I mean, I don't see the need of it right now. And the free landfill.
I agree with you.
Yeah. So, later on, we council preferred that Justin not issue any burning permits, correct? Right. Okay.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. But you're talking just residential, you're talking, I mean, some of these places.
yeah. Like I said, I've had calls from all over the place, from commercial businesses that have a bunch of trees down to residents that have a bunch of cleanup stuff. So
I mean, here's my thought, maybe down the road, you can let them maybe burn like, I know like the golf course lost 30, 40 trees, at least. You know, I'm just saying, is there time?
well, I think I would look for some direction from you folks.
Up and it's, you know,
So
I'm just asking now, because I know it'll be coming from different places.
We will have the fall looking version coming on.
Yeah.
It'll be a good time for that to get dry out.
Is there anything stopping these commercial requests for getting the trees out to us, or even using our dump site on the north side?
I haven't really
You
asked
just
those
got to
questions yet. Yep.
When is the fall?
October 1st and November 15th. So yeah, I guess they could do that. Some of them are gonna be big burns,
Some of them are gonna be very big burns,
big burns.
especially at some of these commercial ones.
Yeah.
The ones I know that I drove by and some of them haven't even completed their cleanup yet, but they were just already asking. Because one of the things we do ask is that they burn in smaller piles so it doesn't smolder for.
That's what that's the one thing I'd be concerned about with residential, is if now, you have people that have no equipment to haul big limbs to the park,
Mhm.
so they're gonna be burning in the backyard near the alley, you're gonna have limbs 15 feet long. You know, you'll have to bring up the rockers instead of these.
Yeah.
So I don't. Maybe they could hold out for 6 weeks.
I think it's fair, tell them you got October 1st and 15th, or November 15th. Burn them or
Well, and I think staff has had conversations about the amount of debris that's being put out at 22nd and Lynn. Once we're completed, what do we do with that? Burning is certainly an option that I think would be the most cost effective. We've had conversations with one company that brings in a big old chipper and everything. A bid he gave us, and I don't think it would cover for a certain amount, and I don't think it would cover everything out there. It's $59,000. So we are.
And that's just chipping. You still gotta get rid of it, right?
Yeah, so we don't have any, obviously don't have any total amount of what this cleanup's gonna be, but I think you can expect it to be north of $100,000. That we will be paying, we're paying for probably out of our reserves. And then get as much back from FEMA. I know JR and Andre have been FEMA before, so those two are gonna be working on it. The proper paperwork and everything like that, but we're gonna have that outlay of cash. We have 5 contractors, I think JR mentioned, and I've asked Public Works to get invoices from the contractors each week so that we can monitor those and make sure and know where we're at, but it's gonna be significant amount. So we're gonna authorize $4 billion on federal tax. But of course, we got a whole state effect. Yeah. Right, and we're still trying to learn the rules here, you know, on what they're gonna count, whether they're counting hours of the contractor at a certain amount, or they're counting loads. And I don't think we have direction on it yet. Yet we're still picking all this up, including debt to the contractors.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sorry. One quick yes, I did. So obviously we received the new fire truck. Found a couple of little paint flaws. We sent it down to Des Moines to get getting those touched up, and we'll have it back here soon. Still waiting on equipment that's been ordered for since probably sometime in March. So what's that?
COVID doesn't help.
Correct, and a lot of it comes from the East Coast. A lot of the fire hose companies are on the East Coast, and so that's. Yep. Thank you.
Chief Weeble.
One thing real quick, Mayor, is I just want to thank Public Works for their work Monday. Our big thing when everything happened was just our ability to get around town. I know Fire Chief and I had several conversations about that. That was our biggest trouble. And Public Works did a great job of moving stuff out of the way so we can get around the best we could. And I appreciate that. So,
Absolutely.
Thank you. City Administrator, Bill.
Thank you, sir. First item is to discuss POCO, the survey. Councilman Stein and myself had a conference call with them about their pushing a survey in regards to COVID. Is that correct?
Yeah, they have COVID questions that CARES funds can pay for the survey. And there are several different ones. POCO has merged with the National Research Council, and so this is on the National Research Council side of it. So they have six different types of surveys, one on business, on staff, on police, on fire, and what have you. And they're, since they have questions regarding COVID on it, CARES fund will pay for the survey. However, we kind of got the impression that it was going to be a little bit more administrative work than what we needed to do, since we had a recent chambers survey go out on paper that would essentially get the same information. we haven't been affected by COVID on the health side of things as much, just the trickle effects and things like that. So I guess when Bill and I's discussion said it wasn't really worth it to do it. So, but if anybody has any questions about what the survey is or anything like that, you can ask.
Right.
Something like $6,000. But they would do all the
Just
questions.
resources that your community has, or?
Yeah, what has happened to them, you know, do they still have a home, have they lost a job? Have they been ill, healthcare situations? And I think they just added these questions on to the existing surveys, which, you know, test different parts of your community and they rank you versus other cities. And they've done a bunch of different cities in Iowa and these other ones, but this was just a way to get it paid for, essentially.
Ours is really one of the big economies that have room for shelf. We look at the total.
Yeah,
So unless there's interest in council, we're not going to do that. Key Mind staff is going to be doing things with COVID through the CARES Act, open that to ourselves. In addition, now we also have FEMA on this storm, so two different things we're going to be trying to get money from the government, state and federal. Second thing on COCO is our contract expires, I think, on November 1st. Part of that contract says if we're not going to renew it, we have to give them 30 days notice. I think Councilman Sines and I talked a little bit too, that we thought maybe we'd let the contract expire and see when we get through all this, maybe we look at it again. We don't know that there'll be time or an opportunity to use them over the next two, let that just right, we always sign that up. So I think we're gonna send them a letter that we're not gonna renew them unless anybody would like us to do something.
and if you recall, we got that paid for by a grant initially, so we weren't outlaying any money. But if we wanted to go back into it, that would be a great area for economic development person as a staff member to be in charge of the questions and the data and stuff like that. So it's in their hands. This is an idea. You want to keep it around.
I will mention that the art commission, we have been discussing a survey for the community from an art perspective, but with the understanding the expiration date. So
Yeah, I mean, we still have, I think, November 1st, is that right? They expire October 30th. So it's something, I can still do something between now and then. Okay. Back to the storm damage, the city infrastructure did suffer some damage. It's minor. We have started to claim with EMC. Staff has collected all the damage that whether it's at the plants or public works. I don't know if you noticed that public works. It's pretty much taken out, and the others will have to get there. A few minor things that are built, nothing major, but we are working on that. And now I'll take any questions you have. Otherwise, I'm done.
Okay, number 6, consent agenda. Are there any items on the consent agenda that you'd like to remove and discuss separately? And if not, I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Call the roll.
Sucker? Yes. Ray?
Yes.
McGinn?
Yes.
Stein?
Yes.
Mormon?
Yes.
Picard?
Yes.
Okay. 7, ordinances. A, first reading 2262, ordinance to allow the city of Boone to adjust the water drainage utility rate from $1.95 to $3, chapter 100.05.
Move to approve.
Call the roll.
Ray?
Yes.
McGinn?
Yes.
Stein?
Yes.
Mormon?
Yes.
Picard?
Yes.
Second? Yes.
Okay, B, first reading 2263, ordinance to allow the city of Boone to establish additional parking regulations and stop sign locations, code sections 69.08 and 65.02.
Motion to approve.
Second. Call the roll.
McGinn?
Yes.
Stein?
Yes.
Mormon?
Yes.
Picard?
Yes.
Sucker? Yes. Ray?
Yes. C, second reading 2261, ordinance to allow the city of Boone to modify the Human Services Committee 10-year provision, provide for an appeal process for an entity denied funding. Code sections 28.03 and 28.074.
So
Second.
Call the roll.
Science.
Yes.
Mormon.
Yes.
Pickla.
Yes.
Sucker. Yes. Ray.
Yes.
McGinn.
Yes.
Okay, number 8, I just want to again thank Public Works, Police, Fire, everybody who helped out through this thing. It wasn't just one group. We had a lot of our city employees that worked. I mean, I know police called in, everybody called in. We had a lot of people working. And I want to thank them because it's a strain on them as well. It's a strain on their budgets as well. But it's one of the things we had to do it. But thank you. Thank you to the department heads that all helped out. Number 9, council member comments.
I would just like to add that thank you to the community.
Yeah.
I saw neighbors out there cutting, trading text messages on chainsaws. I mean, it was really nice to see the community come together and help each other out.
There was a lot of guys out there in their bobcats and their small equipment moving stuff.
I had people stop.
Yep.
With chainsaws and start helping.
Yeah. Getting the streets clear and stuff. Yep.
That was nice. Although I did have one guy yesterday stop and be damaged his yard a little bit. Wondered if we were gonna come back. I said no. He goes, well, I'm okay. I just said, well, we didn't have to pick the stuff up. We did that, and I said, okay, I understand. This side. We could have a few marks in your parking. I'm sorry.
One thing that I had, sorry, real quick, is we did move on to be a finalist in this awards for the Voice of the People thing. So we can hear back and we can advertise that if we wanted a little plaque or something. So I could send it on. We want to put that on our Facebook page or Instagram or what have you. But I don't know exactly when the date is going to be the winner.
I was just gonna note, on Thursday when my welfare sanitary guy was coming down the street, I happened to be outside and, he kept getting sticks stuck in the garbage, can. So everyone could just be mindful that you give it a little bit of space. Might help them out a little bit in this,
Yeah,
but
no, that's good.
I think everybody's efforts, it was pretty moving to see Monday, the neighborhood outside working together.
Any other comments?
I do have one.
Our next meeting is going to be Tuesday, September 8th, due to the holiday. Okay, are there any public comments for items on the agenda? This meeting is adjourned.